To the outside world, she might seem quite volatile, rude, withdrawn, and people might be calling her weird or too sensitive, just an odd woman. And they might even wonder why she just can't get over it. They see these behaviors as flaws that just don't seem to make sense on the surface. But what if these behaviors or these habits aren't just strange, aren't just flaws? What if they are sophisticated survival skills? What if these habits are scars off a battlefield to prove a war that she's fighting every single day? In this video, I'm going to pull back the curtain on the secret survival skills that these poor women have to go through on a daily basis and even get judged from the outside world on their behaviors right now when they have fought this silent war for most probably years. If you've ever felt this, or if you've ever felt judged, or you know someone like this, watch this video to understand more. Hello, my friends. I hope that you're all doing really well. In this very emotional, very informative type video, I really wanted to make this for a couple of weeks now. I had this idea through the client work that I've done, but also this had been kind of suggested to me by someone via email. So happy and proud. I've put a lot of work into this video, so I really hope that the video does do it justice, because I know that this is a topic that not many people talk about. I know that there's some videos out there on YouTube that are floating around and they're great and you should go and watch them. But I really wanted to put my spin on it, my thoughts, because I think that this is a real phenomenon that does exist. And you'll see that actually a lot of this exists because of these narcissistic relationships that we have been in. And these are the behaviors that we are kind of left with, that the outside world doesn't understand, that the outside world questions us. And actually, these are all coping mechanisms. These are all scars that we are left with. And for most of it, we can't really even defend ourselves, because sometimes we're not even aware of it. But sometimes we don't even know that this person or the outside world really thinks that of us. Or maybe that our behaviors aren't that obvious. So this is the thing. I really hope that this video, if you are going through this, I really hope that this video does help you. And also, please know that if you want further help or more information, please know that I do offer one-to-one consultations. Please see the description box below. So my friends, let's get into the video. The over-apologizer, de-escalation as a defense. Let's start with something that's really confusing, but really exhausting to you. Confusing to others, the person or the woman who apologizes for everything. The reason why this happens is because a narcissist or a toxic individual made that woman or that person believe that actually they are not good enough, that actually whatever they think, whatever they do is not right, it's not good enough, and that actually their existence is not important. You might bump into someone, you might excuse yourself because you want to get through. You'll apologize for having an opinion, for needing something, or for even expressing yourself. Your basic needs are compromised, so you'll start to apologize for them. It looks like you have zero confidence or crippling insecurity, like more than the average person. But this, my friends, this isn't a personality trait, it's a trauma response. What happens is you minimize yourself. You minimize yourself to actually know that your needs don't matter, that basically you don't matter. And this has been taught to this person. You're blamed for everything. Everything that could go wrong is blamed on you. You feel like you just don't exist. You feel like you don't matter at all. You are minimized, you are diminished. And everything turns into an argument, like the narcissist's bad mood, like they were stuck in traffic, the traffic is your fault. You know, any little thing, basically, that person was blamed for. So what that creates within you is a narrative, is a belief about yourself, and you are constantly walking on eggshells. So you're constantly looking in your environment for things that are going to aggravate the other person, because you don't want conflict, because it is so exhausting. You just cannot cope. You're worried about the next argument, the next explosion that's going to happen. So you want to minimize that. You want to keep everything contained. You don't want to feel that you're being blamed. You don't want to feel like there is another potential argument that's going to erupt here out of nothing. So you learn to minimize. You learn to minimize yourself, your needs, your thoughts, your emotions. You don't read them. And all this is doing is disconnecting yourself from you, because you then learn that you don't matter, that you're not important, that actually the narcissist is the one that matters. The narcissist is the one that is the most important, because you don't want an argument. So this is the walking on eggshells. You're watching in your environment so that you don't irritate or aggravate that narcissist. The emotional cost is huge, because it chips away at your confidence. It chips away at your own self-beliefs. Your self-worth is diminished completely as well. You learn not to want for anything. You learn and you know that anytime that you express yourself, that is also unimportant. When you catch yourself in an apology, take a step back and say to yourself, did I actually do anything wrong here? You don't have to do all of this at once. I would say just start by noticing every time that you do apologize, every time that you say sorry for something. Is this just a response, like an automatic response that you have? Catch yourself in the act, because the first thing is always about awareness. And give yourself a little reminder. I don't have to apologize for my existence. I'm allowed to have space. So the next one is the emotional validity, the pressure cooker release. This one might be the most judged behavior of all, because it is the most loudest, so to speak. So it's like a pressure cooker. You can take it, you can take it, you can take it again. And you can take it to a certain point. But as we all know, everybody has a threshold. So there will come a point that actually you can't take it anymore. And then comes the explosion. And this is because you have learned to minimize yourself, to just take it all on the chin, to not ask for anything, to excuse your existence. And you've done this one too many times, and you've actually learned this trait, you've learned this behavior because it's part of your survival skill set. And now that the narcissist perhaps isn't in your life, you have also continued that behavior, because that's what you have been learned, that's what you've been conditioned into believing and thinking about yourself. You're expected to absorb all of the narcissistic chaos, because again, you don't want to rock the boat, because you don't want to have an argument. You don't want there to be this argument, this validity that happens. So you learn to diminish. But this pressure cooker slowly builds up. The pressure does build up, and then there is this explosion. And usually it's at people that you don't mean it to, but they're the closest ones to you, and the ones that you actually feel comfortable. You actually feel that maybe you can just explode and allow all of this to come out. Of course, they don't deserve it. We understand, and it's not their fault. But it is a release of energy. It is a release, this subconscious release that has been building up within you, because there is a resentment that this person has done this to you. And yes, there is the explosion on the wrong person, but it doesn't mean that it's you. It means that this is how you have learned to cope when things are stressful. This is how you have learned to absorb all of this around you. And this is about your body and your mind that is screaming for help, and has been screaming for help for a really long time. Nervous system that has been on high alert most of the time for a long period of time. And so it is going to give out. Like, it's not, you can't live like that. You can't survive like that, as you know. Healing starts with self-compassion, and understand that this was a way for you to survive. Okay, you didn't really have a choice. This was your only option. So this is about building that self-compassion within you, and not judging yourself, but just understanding that this is what happens when you don't look after yourself. So start by, every time that you feel upset or something that happens to you that you feel is untoward, write it down. Maybe keep a journal, because this is a way of you releasing what is up here and here, but you're releasing it onto paper. There needs to be an output, okay? Because you can't keep squashing it down. That doesn't work, as you can see. So this is about being able to release this in a safe way. And usually journaling, or if you have someone that you can talk to, as a friend, a family member, or even a therapist, that also can really, really help. And these give you feelings of permission to be able to exist. Just want to add that I do have a journal club. This is a way of being able to express, being able to work through emotions, thoughts that you may have. So if you are interested, details are down below. If you are liking this video, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel for more content like this. The next section that I wanted to talk about is the social withdrawal, a feeling of isolation. Now, this is something that is very real for survivors of narcissistic abuse and toxic individuals. What happens is you end up withdrawing yourself. What happens also is that the narcissist probably isolated you from your friends and family. So reaching out to those people might feel like such a hill that you need to climb. And it might be difficult because maybe even friendships or relationships have been severed in this process. But one thing that I do want you to know, okay, is that people love you. People will love you, okay, and a lot of them will understand what you have been through, but haven't been able to voice that because you were with that person. So if you feel safe enough, try and reach out to those people, because I'm sure that they really want to hear from you. I understand that withdrawing is a coping mechanism, again, from trauma, from things that have been done to you. But it's important to start to reverse that, because you can't survive on your own. Loneliness can actually kill. And there's been research that has been known to be proven that that is the case. You know, you still remaining isolated is still the narcissist having that control and that grip over you. So trying to reverse that, if you can, will really help. And you don't have to go big. You can start by reaching out to family or friends that you feel safe. Maybe even going out, you know, just to the shopping center, or maybe just going, you know, for a walk. It's about surrounding yourself with others and knowing that you have got permission to exist. And like I said, start small. Maybe it might be that you want to join some online groups. That might be really helpful for you to be able to connect with others, because connection to others is part of the healing journey, is part of the healing experience. Being alone, isolated from others, that isn't normal. That isn't how it should be. We need to be around others. We are social creatures. So try reaching out to others, okay, instead of staying alone with your thoughts, doing things on your own. Having connection is really, really important. You've survived so much and gone through so much as a human being that maybe so many others haven't. And so many others would never understand. But what I want you to know is you're a little soldier, okay? And you don't need to be that soldier anymore. You need to be able to put down your armor and just be you. Come back home to yourself. What is really important, that you can regenerate all of this. It doesn't mean that your life has to exist in this way. It doesn't matter how others see you. What is important is how you see you. And you've needed to survive something that was so volatile, so disgusting, so challenging. But you don't need to anymore, because you're not with that person. This is about you building yourself and moving forward from this and reclaiming your life. And in that, try to remember the person that you were before that narcissist came into your life. This will really help you on your healing journey. Try to remember that you are a really good and genuine, wonderful person, because that's why the narcissist seeked you out. So look, you are resilient, you are strong, you are amazing, and it's about you building on that. I really hope that this video has helped you, has inspired you, has made you think about things a little bit differently. And guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.